Drawing a blank here. Seriously, what kind of engineering school flunkouts are landing jobs designing motherboards these days? I'm trying to shop for a new motherboard for Tuxedo, and I am just not having any luck whatsoever. Oh look, the MSI 970A G43 Plus that I just returned because I had trouble jump-starting the darn thing with a screwdriver is on sale this week for 50 bucks. Gee, I can't possibly imagine why. The BioStar TA970! Yeah. BioStar is one of those companies that I never hear about, and I think I know why. I see people talking about motherboards and stuff like that. Here's the problem with this one. This one, I don't know what it is with all these manufacturers and this number one, PCI Express slot next to the graphics card. Come on, why even have a slot there? I mean, who's going to buy an enthusiast AM3 board and use integrated Wait a minute. Is there a single AM3 Plus chip with integrated graphics? The last motherboard that I had for the 1090T had integrated graphics via a graphics chip on the motherboard. It's not like a pass-through from the processor, because that wasn't exactly a thing with AM3 chips. That's more of an FM2 thing. But anyways, you again and again, you got a PCI Express version 1 or whatever it is, the itty-bitty one, right next to the graphics card. Why? What are you gonna do? You gonna put it in the second slot and lose your PCIs? Actually, most of the boards I've seen with double slots like this one's slower than the other one, so you want to use this one first. So, but anyways, maybe I should dig around and see if that's the case. Can I really put a graphics card here instead of here and not lose any performance out of the deal? Because every board I've had up for the last several years actually, that's had double PCI Express, second wasn't as good as the first. But anyways, one of the big reasons why I want to refurb Tuxedo is to use my sound card again for the old creative stuff for sound fonts and things like that. So that means using this PCI Express 1 right here. But board after board after board has this thing ridiculously close to a big heatsink. Oh yeah, that's totally what I want to do. Run the risk of solder joints from my sound card shorting out against a big metal heatsink. And I mean big on this one. Look at that. There's where the sound card would go. There's the fins, assuming that's metal because it's not plastic or something like that. Look at it from above. From above, from above. There it is. And you figure the card is going to be right here. And there it is. Not much space if there's a blobby solder joint or something poking out like an itty-bitty amount from the card. But this isn't the worst offender on this list. Asus Baby Blue Special! What is this? Look, there's the plug, there, the overhead view, please. Look at this! Look at this! Look, there's the there's the slot, there's the heatsink. Where's any respectable sized card going to go? Epic fail. ASRock. I've heard all these great things about ASRock boards, that they're affordable and decent, or maybe they're just really popular in YouTube videos. Let's check out this heatsink right here. See this biggie right over here, and let's look down from above. How close is that sucker? Well, that gives me a bit more wiggle room. Wait a minute. Nope. That gives me a bit more wiggle room there. So there's that. And it comes down, cutting it close to that big heatsink right there, huh? This probably has the best design out of all of them. If I was going to take a chance, maybe I'd want to take a chance with this one. So, 4 slots for the RAM, and there's the graphics card, and there's 2 slots for serial ATA, as well as a bunch of them down here, too. I think this is probably the best contender for a board that I'll try next to rehab Tuxedo with. I might have to put something non-conducting on the side of that heatsink, though. Oh, look, another big bleeping heatsink. Look down from on high, look down from on high. Look at how close that is. Literally, it's like the heatsink ends and the jack begins. How high is that capacitor, by the way? ASRock again. Fail, 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 fail. See, it's even higher than the port, or just a tad. But let's just blow that one up. Show me the isometric view, please. It is higher than what you would plug into that thing. Epic fail. BioStar! Here we go again. Zoom in twice. Look at that big hi-fi block thingy right there, right next to the PCI Express 1. Zoom twice. Too close for comfort. The card will be here. Oh, there isn't a blobby solder joint, but at least there's a heatsink that looks like a piano. ASRock! And once again, fail, fail, fail. There it is. There's the jack, and there's the metal that your card will crash into. Who thinks this is a good idea? Epic fail. And for those who think I'm just trying to be Captain Smartass about all of this, here's the old board for comparison. So there was a heatsink on the North Bridge, but it actually made quite an allowance for the card in order to not cause any trouble in that respect. See that? Look at that space. And let's take a look at the back too. Made an allowance there as well. Not much of an allowance, as we can see from here. As long as you don't have any solder joints close to the bottom of your add-on card, there was no trouble. But if something pokes through a little too far, yeah, not so sure. If this board wasn't already screwed up from too much overclocking, I would actually be quite tempted to just put this thing back in and try to squeeze some more life out of it. But we both know that's not happening. And that, folks, is why Tuxedo doesn't have a new motherboard on the way yet. MultimediaJay out.